seems like I've known him all my life, although it's just been my professional life. So it had to be sometime in the, I guess in the early 80s.
I first met Irv in the 1987 mayor's race when Ed Rendell was running against Wilson Good in that primary. Irv was a reporter.
As a reporter, I mean, he has covered pretty much the development in the late 20th century in Philadelphia. All of the big events, the move, blowouts with the city, the evolution of African Americans in the position of mayor. So he's a very humble person, and that as a trait, along with his competency, I think is one of the things that distinguishes her as a person and as a manager.
And you'll never outwork him.
Irv is, I would say, a newspaperman's newspaperman. He's a real student of the craft, very dedicated, not very flamboyant and flashy, but he gets the job done, and that's the important thing. And
he's got all this background as a reporter, all this journalism background. He's got these qualities as a human being. But if there's a better teacher in this profession, a better person who can bring the best out of young reporting talent than Irv Randolph, I don't know who that is.
How did he fare well with people in general? Gave us some sense of how he would perform as the leader in our editorial department. All of those reflected a calm, stable, consistent demeanor. Irv doesn't go here or there. Irv tends to go down the middle with some sense of focus and direction. He's not radical. I mean, he's not, and he is not complacent.
And I don't think he has ever sat down at a computer terminal or a typewriter to write a story that he wasn't prepared to write and that he didn't have all the facts that he needed to write a story. But Irv is just a quality person. I mean, he believes in journalism as an honorable profession, and I think it's probably more important to him than anything else, maybe aside from his family, that he would be judged as somebody, as a reporter, who is fair and who approaches all of his stories and all of his subjects in the objective way.
As a boss, he's really a nice guy. He's very supportive, very low key, but in the end, he has his position, and it's very clear. Sometimes he kind of wears it on his lapel, but he's willing to work with you, and he's very supportive of his staff members.
I think that Irv and the editorial staff, the team, have clearly demonstrated their skills and ability, and have made us America's largest newspaper serving the African American community.
He's a Philadelphian. I'm not. I've been here for 35, almost 40 years. So I've lost a lot of my Pittsburgh brogue. I now say soda instead of pop. But there's a lot of the kind of like small nitty-gritty things about Philadelphia that I don't know, but Irv just has a mastery of. And I mean, here's a guy who, you know, born and raised in North Philadelphia and in Philadelphia, and then going to the school in the city. I know that really had a great impact on him and really helped propel his career. Because one of the things that you find with going to Temple, that after you finish Temple, there is life after Temple. And so many people in the media here in Philadelphia at so many levels are Temple alum, and that helps open doors and helps you get access.
I think Irv Randolph's legacy to Philadelphia journalism really comes as much out of his editing days as his reporting days.
Irv is thoughtful and consistent, and he manages himself. He's not over-aggressive. He doesn't get bent out of shape. He's probably the direct opposite of me. I think he's been good for the Tribune.
And from Temple's perspective, in Irv Randolph, they have a graduate who demonstrates a culture of Temple of journalism ethics and integrity, a cultural importance of giving back to the community from whence you came, and a substantive reputation of being one of the finest journalists that Temple or this city has ever produced.